Today we follow in the footsteps of Julius Caesar and his legions as they made their march towards Rome. We cross the Rubicon River and make our way to the famous square where he made his plea to his fellow soldiers. Join us as we show you history in the places that it happened.
Buongiorno, guys, from northern Italy. We are at a very historical location, but perhaps one less visited. We are at the Rubicon River, where in early January 49 BC, Gaius Julius Caesar, at the head of his 13th Legion, effectively declared war on the Roman Republic by marching his army across this river, as of course we are about to do right now.
Whoops.
Now, this spot itself was debated for a long time, but during Mussolini's reign over Italy, and his revival of many of the ancient Roman sites, they sort of figured out the general almost location where Caesar must have crossed. Kids are up there wondering what the hell I'm doing. For history, alea, iacta dis. I probably butchered that, but those were the words that Caesar supposedly famously uttered, meaning the die is cast, or basically the point of no return. Now the bridge is actually Roman, but it's from later, from the time of Augustus or Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. It was actually blown up in World War II by the Germans when they were retreating from the Gothic line. But this is a video about Roman history. Always got to throw some World War II stuff in there. There's modern concrete mixed in where all the stones were blown up. Yeah.
Well, he calls the rocks or potatoes or whatever is in his poem.
Now, why was crossing this river so symbolic? The Rubicon once marked the border of Gaul, where Caesar had just won the Gallic Wars and conquered much of Europe and Britain. But upon receiving a wealth of influence over his men, mainly, his loyal legions, including the 13th, and power granted to him by the Roman Senate outside of Italy proper, the Senate kind of became worried and ordered Caesar to return to Rome and surrender command of his legions. Caesar basically said, "Screw you guys, I'm going to invade Rome." And that is what he did, and as they say, the rest is history. Over here is the 2,000-year-old Bridge of Tiberius, which is actually the only bridge not blown up by the Germans during the retreat from the Gothic line. Well, we will cross this and head to the main square where Caesar addressed his legions. Pretty cool, you can walk over a pretty much original Roman bridge. Oh, there's actually an inscription up here. Something like given by 2 emperors or something along those lines. This is the spot where, as the inscription reads, Caesar, after crossing the Rubicon, at this spot addressed his legions, addressed his fellow soldiers. It's pretty cool to be able to stand in a historical location like that, especially knowing that the famous phrase was probably uttered here, or before when he crossed the river. The die is cast. Alea, iacta est. Now you might wonder why there's not a statue of Caesar here. It's because the one Mussolini donated was too big, so they put it over there in the corner. There's actually a story behind that. That's not the original statue. They ended up hiding it in a ditch after the war. Supposedly there was like some fascist marches here, so they didn't want the statue. And then the statue actually got like kind of liberated by the military, and then this is not the real one. This is a replica. And here is the level of the original forum. So, and here on a bit of more recent history. This wall here in this monument basically marks the extent of the German Gothic line, which was the last defensive line in Italy before it was crossed by Canadian forces in 1944. As always, I truly appreciate you guys watching. Grazie mille. And until next one, arrivederci.